right. Hello, hello, Barbara. Thanks for joining us today. We are crazy excited to be with you this afternoon and look forward to hearing all of your information. For those of you new listeners, my name is Stacey Reynolds. I'm the founder and CEO of Les Encres Threads. And today we have with us the lovely Barbara Beckford, who is the owner and nurse injector at Skin Esteem, located in Queens, New York. Welcome,
Thank
Barbara.
you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Excellent. Barbara, do you want to take just a few minutes and introduce yourself to our guests?
Sure. So my name is Barbara Beckford. I'm an adult nurse practitioner licensed in the state of New York. I have a DNP, meaning a Doctor of Nursing Practice degree. So out of respect, my clients call me Dr. B. I own and operate my own medical spa since June 2015 in St. Albans, Queens, seeing probably nearly 3,000 or more clients and building. I really enjoy the medical aesthetic field. I also own a skin and a makeup line, and I am in a predominantly Black community where it's a plus for them. So they don't have to travel out of town to go and get similar procedures done. Plus, my costs are more affordable. I educate a lot. My number one goal for my clients is patient satisfaction. And I represent every single brand that I'm with utmost respect. Another thing I do, I mentor nurse practitioners into opening their own medical spa since 2019. And I do have them come to the spa to watch me work.
Mhm. And I can personally attest, as I've been to your location, Dr. B, that you have some incredible energy floating around there, and you can just feel the buzz when you walk in. It's very exciting. You've got a lot
Thank
going
you.
on.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You. So let's start off by having you share with how you have integrated threads into your daily practice at your spa.
Okay, so I wanted to do everything that a nurse practitioner is licensed to do in medical aesthetics. So I got a certificate for thread lifting, but it was only for the smooth thread in 2017. It wasn't barbed. Barbed threads were separate. It wasn't that popular amongst my customers at the time, but some of them knew about thread lifting, and I did a few. It was this year, probably around February, when your rep Giselle reached out to me in Instagram in my inbox. And about that same week, two different women said to me, "Can you start doing threads again? I see other doctors doing it." So I said, okay. I was using this other brand, but wasn't that sure about it. But something about Giselle just gave me that energy, something about her. So I decided to try. Um, I was trained into barbed thread by one of your nurse injectors in February. And because of my large Instagram following, and I guess the trust people have in me and my clients since February until now, I've done probably 300 different thread procedures with La Encre thread.
That's
Every
incredible.
single week, I'm doing thread, sometimes three in a day.
That's amazing, Barbara. Tell me, what are some of your top two or three favorite thread procedures that you like to do the most?
Face, butt, and tear trough.
Ah, you are the unofficial queen of the threads in the butt. You have been
Yes.
doing an amazing amount of thread treatments in that area. It's amazing.
Yes, I've done a few. I've done one last week, and a lot of people wanting the tear trough because what I do, my clients are so nice. They allow me to take pictures, they allow me to video, they allow me to share. I actually have a Instagram ad right now with over 20,000 views of me doing a tear trough thread. And the goal is messages. Every single day, I'm answering messages. Probably got around 20 something appointments for tear trough thread from that ad. And other different procedures with thread. A lady just inboxed me. She saw the ad, but she wanted to do the face, and we have an appointment this week.
Incredible. So, with the gain and rise in popularity of threads on social media, how would you say threads have fundamentally changed from when you first started using them to now?
Social media is number one. It was 2017. I had the first certificate. My clientele has grown since then, and just the marketing, doing live videos, talking about it, doing threads on my sister, doing threads on myself, it gained the trust and from the public. And many don't understand the idea of how threads work. And I do explain when they call, can you tell me the price of this? I will let them know what thread lifting is and explain the reason and how it works. I redirect them to my page or my website, then I will quote them a cost. And I always tell them, I just became master injector, letting them know that they're in good hands.
Of course. No, very smart. What would you say is the most common misconception about threads that people ask you about or that you hear?
People think that anybody could do threads. And I say to them, it's in the United States, it's actually a medical procedure. Many people think that they don't work, and I will compare threads to fillers. I'm kind of drifting away from fillers because threads are much more safer. And the thing I tell them, they'll compare like other providers. Oh, I went to see somebody, I just got 2-3 threads. I explain to them that there are different thread companies that are out there. And because they figure that it's only one type of thread, if they just don't understand how threads work in the body, and this is where I come in.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What would you say has been the most important lesson you've learned in your threading career so far? I always love asking that question.
The most important lesson is to have faith in me and trust. And in my head, I always say, you know what, thread won't cause that big of a harm to somebody. So far, so good. With the hundreds I've treated, I think it's very, very safe. It's one of the safest procedures that I've done where I have to puncture somebody's skin. So the safety of it is number one.
I like that.
You don't have to go under the knife. I tell people, yes, it doesn't last years like a facelift, but it's safer. To me, it's not invasive. It's much less invasive. And I could do a lot with threads.
Excellent. So you and I have had a chance to meet in the field out at your spa. And really, when I say that it's such a unique level of energy that you have there, you've got an amazing story of how you've come to be Dr. B and have this
Yes.
social media following. What would you say, using all of your vast level of experience, even outside of just threads, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing in the aesthetic industry today?
People who are not licensed are doing aesthetic procedure. That really upsets me. Last night, a friend of mine sent me some videos that 3 or 2 ladies doing threads they got from Korea who are not licensed medical providers on YouTube. And the amount of followers they got, the amount of comments and so on forth, positive energy. And I said, look at that, and I was kind of offended by those videos, that I think that the Department of Medicine or the American Medical Association, some kind of organization really need to put a stop to it because it's unsafe to have, and the misconception of the public looking up to these people. And I have clients who come to me with those videos. Yeah, can I have my face do it without even knowing, and I will have to explain to them.
Right. So a lot of education around social media to your patients and really helping them understand why
Yes,
it's important to be a licensed medical professional operating this treatment and really understanding how to execute properly on the treatment.
yes.
Yeah.
And use FDA approved threads.
And where do you, with all of your vast knowledge and education, where do you self-educate or how do you self-educate?
I self-educate from your YouTube page, from the La Encre nice fancy manual that I keep in my phone.
Mm,
So whenever I have spare time, I will read it, read it, read it, read it, read it. I will attend live conferences, but since the pandemic, I don't. So I do everything online.
mhm,
I take online certification courses. I do get a lot of emails from companies, and I do read.
mhm,
Sometimes I will go on YouTube and I will follow doctors who offer the similar threads, Los Ancra threads, and I watch the videos. And of course, Giselle, your rep, is
mm.
amazing.
We love Giselle. What would you say when you've got new trainers or trainees at your disposal when you're working with them? What is something you really hone in, whether it's threads or any other aesthetic modality? What's one thing that you really kind of drive home to them that will help them with their success?
They have to continue to learn. Even after I train, I let them stay in touch with me, and I actually let them come back for free. I
Mm,
do, because they seem to have a difficulty using the barbed threads.
mhm,
So
mhm,
I allow them to come back and practice on my clients who signed up to be models. Those models, I give them a discount off. I do have them enroll, of course, with the brand, and I do send them that book that they need to read. And I'm just a guide for them.
mhm,
I really take the training serious. I'm just a guide for them. And of course, I will refer them to Giselle.
mhm.
But of course, with this is new to them, so they're kind of nervous, they're kind of anxious. I do live videos after the training with them to close up any gaps and have any questions they need. I had a video this morning before I came on with a lady I trained last Saturday. So she's coming back this Saturday.
Mhm. I like what you said there. For anybody who knows me, for years, I've always said, there's a difference between a sage on the stage and a guide on the side, where
Right,
it's one thing to watch someone perform a treatment, and it's a whole different thing to really learn yourself and to have someone teach you rather than just show you. And it sounds
right.
like you are definitely of that guide on the side
Yes,
mentorship.
yes.
Yep, very important. And I appreciate that you offer that ongoing mentoring for students who have completed your trainings because it's so important for them to have the confidence to know that they can do it in addition to the skill. That's a
Exactly.
difficult thing to kind of master over time.
Hmm.
Um, my other favorite question,
Okay.
PDO, PLLA, or PCL threads, which one is your favorite thread and why?
All right. I use PDOs mostly. They work anywhere on the body. They do create volume. No matter what they say, PDOs work. I like PLLAs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like PLLAs because they create more volume, especially to areas where it's needed. I use PLLAs in the inner thighs and the arms, the bat wings, a lot
Mm,
because even the belly, where their skin is very loose, PLLA threads, the twist ones, are
mhm,
amazing.
mhm,
PCLs are good. I give my clients the option. I
mhm.
say you have threads that last 18 to 24 months, and there's threads that last 2 to 4 years. Choose.
Yeah, right. No, that's
But
a good point.
PLLAs are good because I do a lot of sharp threads a lot. And even the blondes, they're very good. So I love the PLNAs because they work immediately.
Mm-hmm.
and they create more volume. But all the threads do work though immediately. They do, even the PDOs. But the PLLAs, I reserve those threads for areas that I think that really need that tightness and that volume.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, I can certainly tell you have passion about the threads themselves and the technology. But tell us a story about a patient of yours that has really touched your heart, and whether it's a thread patient or another aesthetic modality patient, someone who's really
Okay.
touched your heart.
Okay. I have a few, but I'm gonna touch on the thread, a thread patient. So when I started using La Ancra, I think this was in March. This lady, nearly 60. Um, she follows me on Instagram. She came to me and she wanted facelift. Now, I was new doing La Ancra thread. I think she was probably the third or fourth client. It was a Saturday. So I lifted her face. The video is actually on my Instagram page.
Ah,
Oh, she loved it. She loved it so much. Instant look. So what I did with her and my clients with facelift, I usually lift one face first and show them the comparison.
mm-hmm.
So she loved it. She didn't want to leave the spa. She sat there with me. She was so excited. She called one of her colleagues and showed her picture. And the colleague didn't know what she got. And the colleague did recognize that her face looked younger and
Mm-hmm.
it lifted. So just to create that joy in her, and the first time she ever met me that day, of course, she became a long time client. She comes every week now for something else. But that really melt my heart that I was able to make this lady so happy because she wasn't that happy with how her face was drooping,
Mm-hmm.
and just to bring that joy
Mm-hmm.
to her where she
Mm-hmm.
had to call a colleague and said, look, do you see something different? Even today, she still brag about her face. And this was like in February, March.
Oh, I love that. So with you
Thank you.
being almost the queen of butt lifts right now, what
Uh-huh.
what are you doing? What's your secret sauce, or what do you think you're doing a little different that makes it work so well? Because I've seen your results, and
You've
obviously your
seen it,
social media
yeah.
following has, and they're incredible. They are absolutely incredible.
Um, it's just common sense. Just know where threads go and what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Just a view that with aging, we lose volume, so everything drops. So I know that definitely, and I do watch videos, and of course, Giselle gave me some input.
Mm-hmm.
So I never knew about the spider web until she showed a video, and nobody showed me how to do it. I knew what threads to use, PLLA's twist or the PDO twists, perfect for volume, and the PDO barbs are perfect for lifting. And I just picture the butts and I say, okay, this is how I'm gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna do that, and it works.
Yeah, it does. It really does. With all of the success you've had and doing 300 plus thread treatments this year alone, do you have a common complication that you run into?
With barbed threads, I come to realize that always assess the amount of volume somebody have. Okay, I have predominantly Black people as clients, and in some cultures, they use bleaching creams a lot to lighten spots. And with consistent use, it thins the skin. So I have clients, when they come in, I see the skin, they want threads, I tell them, you may not get the hold that you're supposed to get because your skin is so thin. Um, and they understand.
Sure.
Um, but rarely when I do a thread, like the end of the barb thread will sometimes stick out if it doesn't go deep enough.
Mhm.
Sometimes I do clients who are so afraid they'll shift the
Mm,
position, no matter how I numb them, but in their thoughts. And sometimes I have clients who don't follow post instructions by massaging.
mhm, mhm.
So every single thread procedure I do, I always take a before and after photo. And I tell my trainees that always, because you need to track the progress. And it's an easy fix. Customers will get scared. Oh, look, I could feel the thread or so on. I say, okay, come back and I will massage it out. If the area is sticking out, I numb the area again. I use a needle to puncture the area and push the thread down, and that usually works.
Yeah.
That usually works. But rarely any complications. For butts, sometimes they will feel the sticky pinprick feeling for a few days. And I tell them it is expected. And I tell them to sit on a cushion or something. But after a few days, it's gone.
We one of our injectors in Texas calls those sticky or pricklies spicy. So it's going to be spicy for a few days.
Yes, yes. And
That's
it
always
does happen. It happens in all my butts, but only for a few days.
yeah. Well, and
Yeah,
particularly the PLLA threads are more rigid than the PDO threads. So
right.
oftentimes people will feel that spiciness or the prickliness with the PLLA just because of its rigidity, but it does go away in a few days. So
It does.
yeah. So with all of the activities that you do and all of the different pots you have your hand in with training and mentoring and running a very successful spa yourself, what are your time hacks? How are you managing all of these different balls in the air?
Um, I have a very happy home life. My personal life is very happy. And you can't bring your stress to work, even though it's so avoidable, unavoidable in many people, but I'm just not that type of person. I'm a people person. I love being around people. I network with a lot of my Instagram followers, whether I know them or not. I do a lot of live videos, and we not only talk about business, we talk about personal issues. Um, so I network a lot. I do find the time to go out and, have something to eat. I went out last night. Mondays I'm off. When I'm finished with you, I'm going to the mall. I do stuff like that.
So some
But
good
I
self-care.
I I schedule my appointments accordingly. I actually work alone in my spa, and my clients do understand. So I schedule my work accordingly, and they actually like that. And it works. Everybody asks me, how do you manage all of this at once? Sometimes I'm running back and forth in my office. I have a friend who does come and help me out when not doing any procedures, but like will guide my client. She'll sweep, she'll dust, she'll mop, she'll clean up after I'm done, and just to have somebody there. But it's just to be happy. I'm just a happy person overall.
No, that is one word I would certainly use to describe you.
Thank
Charismatic,
you.
electric, magnetic, happy.
Thank you.
Sunshine, sunshine.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just to kind of round things out, this is often the biggest question of the podcast is what is the most important thing you've learned in your life?
Um, to be kind.
Hmm.
To be kind, to share. A lot of my Instagram followers will say, oh, you share so much information that many people will charge to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be kind, everything is not about money. And as long as my clients are very, very satisfied, that comes first.
Love it.
Yes,
Love it, love it,
yes.
love it. And
Thank you.
spoken a lot about social media. Where can our listeners find you?
Well, they could find me. Social media is where I have the most followers. Instagram, Medical Spa Queens NY. NY stands for New York. And Facebook, you could find me with my name, Barbara Beckford. The business page is Skin Esteem. If you type Barbara Beckford, you'll see all my business Instagram pages pop up. My website is skinesteem.org, but I live on Instagram more because you better believe that is where I get, I would say, 75% of my customers is Instagram. Yeah, so this is why I live on it so much, and almost everything that I do is on Instagram.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, Barbara, thank you for your time today. I'm sure our listeners learned a lot. And I know I myself will be going to check out your Instagram account again. I obsess
Thank
over it
you.
a little bit. And I encourage
Thank
our
you.
listeners to do the same.
You'll see videos of me dancing too. Me and my
Oh,
friends.
love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, enjoy your time at the mall today and
Thank
shopping.
you.
And thank you again for all you do for the community. Have a great
Thank you
afternoon.
so much.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having me. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.